Hey outdoor lovers, today we're going to take a look at this tent here. This is the 10-person dark rest instant cabin tent by Ozark Trails, and I got this probably about a year ago on clearance. Anyway, it's a 14 by 10 and it's an instant setup. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of the initial setup, what it looks like in the inside and the outside with the Rainfly both off and on. And yeah, I'm also going to be camping here for about 4 or 5 days or so, and I am expecting some rain, so I should be able to tell you how well this performs in the rain. It's also a little bit windy, so I should be able to give you an indication how well it held up in the wind as well. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy opened up and get started. Most recently, I've noticed that I haven't seen this particular tent in stores. I see the 6 and the 8 person, but not the 10 or the 12 person. That being said, I decided to go ahead and do this review anyway, just in case it comes back into stock. And nonetheless, it gives you an idea of what a dark rest tent is like. And guys, I do have a second YouTube channel, but on this channel here, I'm going to focus only on my tent camping and tent reviews. I absolutely love camping, and I camp in all different types of ways. Sometimes I car camp, I tent camp, I do have travel trailers which I camp in often as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the description box to a playlist of my tent camping videos on my other channel. That way you guys can see those if you want to. But just keep in mind, from here on out, anything tent related will be posted to this channel only. So if you like tent camping and tent reviews, definitely go ahead and subscribe. I have lots of videos that will be coming out soon where I'll be camping all over the country with various types of tents, and if you like tents, you're not going to want to miss this. I'm going to have a couple more videos at this particular campsite coming out soon. I'm going to show you just us camping there and having a great time, but I'm also going to do a quick video showing you some of the gear that we use when we are camping off-grid, which we were here, no power, no water, etc. So just keep an eye out for that. Those should be out within the next couple of weeks. Okay guys, so typically this is where I would go ahead and put on the Rainfly before it's completely erected, but since I want to show you how it looks with the Rainfly off, I'm going to skip that for now. Okay guys, the battery cut off during some of that setup, but honestly it's very straightforward. You essentially just, from that center hub there, you stretch out all of the arms and you simply extend the poles here until you hear a click. And the instructions are on the inside of the bag. But let's go ahead and take a look at this tent. The Rainfly is off, as you can see. It's rather large. I'm going to walk all the way around so you get a good look. Floor vent right here. Coming around to the back side, I think my only critique right now is typically I prefer tents that have a door on the back side as well, but this one does not. Other side view here. And another floor vent there. And of course you have your doors here, a double door. I wanted to show you, they've got a nice flap to protect the zipper there all the way down. And here you can see the instructions inside the bag here. Very windy today. It also has one patch, a room divider, and some hanging storage. And I'll show you guys all of that. And of course it comes with the typical low quality stakes, which I hate. I forgot to bring my own stakes. Might have to run and see if I can find some. I never trust these. Very dark, as you can see, which is the point. Standing all the way at the other end, looking down the corridor. The ceilings are quite tall. Mesh seems pretty strong, but honestly it seems like the smallest insects would still be able to come through. Oh, we got some daylight coming through. That's not a good sign. Oh, that makes me nervous because I think it is going to rain tomorrow. I better go buy an extra tarp too on that note. Our door is here, and I'll unzip this one so you can see what that looks like. We've also got some windows. I'm not going to let all of them down, but there's a window here as well. Big window. And you have windows on the back wall as well. Very large window here. And a very large window there. Window. And window. There's a better look at the floor vents there. We've got some hanging storage on this side. And I believe we had some hanging storage, yes, on that side there. Right there in the corner. And let me show you guys the ceiling here. Big windows. And what's cool is that the Rainfly does have clear vinyl for these sections. So even if it's raining, you can enjoy all that light coming through during the day. And of course at night you can look out and see the stars. That's awesome. Big windows up top here. I'm not going to let those down at the moment. Oh, actually, you know what? I will. That way you guys can get a feel for it. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and open up everything so you guys can really get a feel for what this tent is like. Also, let me show you the floors. I wish it had more of a bucket floor. It doesn't come up as high as I would like. I have some tents where the bucket floor comes like all the way up here. Does a really good job of keeping water out. And this doesn't have that. Oh, I'm seeing more light coming through there. I don't know, guys. I'm a little worried. We might get damp tomorrow. I definitely saw, oh look, here's another area. Let me turn around where you can see light coming through there. More spots like that. Oh boy. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and open everything up and show you guys how that looks. Here's everything with all of the windows open. Looks pretty good. For the windows on the ceiling here, you do have this little clasp to be able to fold away the materials. But on the bottom, you simply have to kind of tuck it in like such. And there's plenty of room to tuck it, so no problem there. Here's the extra hanging storage there. And the pockets are a pretty good size, actually. It's got little hooks to hang them there. I love how it looks with all the windows open. And I, again, especially love the fact that you can enjoy all of this light even when it's raining, since the Rainfly has that nice clear section. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and put that on now so you guys can see what that looks like. Almost forgot though, I want to show you guys the room divider. So this is it here. I didn't do the other end there so that I can walk through, of course, but one side of it is black and then the opposite side is gray, and there's just little hooks there to keep that clasp, and a hook there on the floor. Let's go ahead and come on over to the other side. There you go. So it's a nice little room divider. Breaks it up into two pretty nice sizes, actually. Plenty of floor space on each side. Let's go ahead and get this Rainfly on. And now here it is with the Rainfly on. Again, isn't that awesome to have that nice skylight there that you can enjoy even when it's raining? Love it, love it, love it. And it really brightens things up in here considering it's so dark. And on that note, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and zip everything back up. I want you guys to see just how dark this gets with everything closed, and hopefully you'll be able to see it, but I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Real quick here, here's the view if we close everything except for the skylights, which realistically this is what you would do if it were raining. So it's still nice and bright overall. And let's go ahead and get those closed. And here we are, guys, with everything closed. And as you can see, we still do get a little bit of light coming through, but relative to traditional tents, yeah, it's way darker. It's the middle of the afternoon, and in theory, if I wanted to take a nap, it's dark enough for me to do so. Give you guys one more look around here in the dark. Alright, so I will be camping for a few days and I do anticipate rain. I'll let you guys know how this goes. The wind noise was really intense in this particular clip, but what I was trying to say was that the wind was really pushing this tent over. Hopefully you can see here in the image, it's almost pushing the tent sideways. Now keep in mind, the broad side of the tent was facing the prevailing winds, but that being said, I do have lots of other tents where the poles are strong enough that they can withstand this type of wind, even without staking down the guide ropes. But this is not one of those tents. So I will say it appears that with this particular tent, it's going to be very important to go ahead and stake down all those guide ropes to help with stability. Yeah, see, once again, I almost thought that the wind was going to blow the whole thing over. And it really wasn't that windy, so definitely something to keep in mind. Now, after we got the guide rope staked down, I will say that it was pretty sturdy and we didn't have any problems. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what everything looks like now that it's furnished, so you can get a good idea of what you can fit in this space. We have our cot on each side here. And there's still plenty of room to get right there. We have a large power box that we're going to use to power our Starlink. And then we have some smaller power boxes here. The bigger one is for our laptops, the smaller one to charge our iPhone and smartwatches. This fan is battery operated, which is great. It also functions as a light. And my mother and I both have the same setup. We have plenty of room between us here, as you can see. Tons of floor space to walk around. And that little storage actually did come in handy. It's housing our battery pack that we use for our LED bulbs there. And this little battery pack will keep that bulb going for like days. So this little short clip here, I'm simply showing you, because I think I didn't show earlier, is that they have a total of 3 of those little loops or hooks there hanging from the ceiling. 1 in the center and 1 on either end of the tent. And these are great for hanging the lights as we've done, but also they seemed strong enough to be able to accommodate hanging maybe a small fan as well. All right. I think I'll come back and just show you guys one last image to see how this looks at night. So I'll be back with you a little bit later on. And now that the sun is setting, I want to go ahead and show you guys what the tent looks like now. I do have a few LED bulbs going in here, so hopefully the glare is not too bad. I'm going to turn around so you guys can see it from the other angle. I would shut the lights off, but honestly, if I do, then you guys probably won't see anything. This was the middle of the night and pitch black, but it was really nice to be able to look out and see the moon or the stars through the skylight. So I think that's one of my favorite things about this tent thus far. It is about 9:30 in the morning and sun is shining and we've got nice clear blue skies this morning, and I wanted to just show you a couple of things that I didn't show earlier. This tent does indeed have this little port here for your electrical cord. Also, I want to go ahead and show you that it did get cold last night, about 39 degrees or so, and it did not rain, but we did get some condensation in the inside here. So yeah, quite a bit of moisture that collected right there on the inside of this this vinyl skylight here, and it did do that on all of these skylight areas. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you have a situation where you have some cooler temperatures, you'll likely get this condensation too. And luckily it wasn't enough to cause it to drip in the inside. At least I don't think so. Hold on, let me check. So the Rainfly stopped any moisture from coming all the way through. Luckily it didn't penetrate the Rainfly, so that's good. I like that. But also, I'm just going to once again show you how it looks in here. Late morning. So when I woke up this morning, well, first I was able to sleep a little longer than usual. I never usually wake up at 9 o'clock. I'm usually up way earlier than that, so this darkness did help. But as you can see there, when I did wake up this morning, that area there, excuse me, isn't really shielded. So it's a little bit lighter than it should be, ideally, for it to be a tent that's geared towards facilitating darkness. Because that's pretty bright, as you can see. So, and of course there's one here on the opposite side. Same thing, it's just much more light is coming through this little area where I don't know why they didn't put material there. It would have helped to really make it so much darker. But overall, I would say it accomplished the goal, seeing as I didn't wake up as soon as the sun rose. So saw some light coming through here, but luckily it's not a hole. All right, I'll give you more updates as I have them. Another thing I'd like to mention is this. With this material being black, it's hot. It's really hot in here. And the outside temperature is pretty cool. It's only about 50 degrees. But in here, y'all, I feel like it's like 80 degrees. I'm not even playing. It's super hot. It's actually kind of uncomfortable. So I'm going to start opening some windows. And removing the material from the skylights here did not help to alleviate the warmth, because you're getting rid of the black, but then you still have the sun penetrating through the clear windows. So either way you do it, it gets super hot in here. So this may not be a tent for spring, certainly not summer. This might be a winter tent only, guys. This is after our second night here. Again, you can see there's quite a bit of condensation there from the skylight area. And this time it did actually drip, hopefully this shows, onto the mesh there. So I don't think it got the carpet wet yet, but I do see that that's definitely a possibility. So I don't know, I might have to end up putting a towel or something over that mesh, well, in between the mesh and the skylight, just to make sure that moisture doesn't continue to drip through. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what that condensation looks like from the inside. So yeah, here we are. This mesh is just a little damp here, and maybe you can see some of that dampness there. Again, I don't think it dripped on the floor or anything like that yet. It hasn't built up that much, and hopefully it won't. But if it does, of course, I will certainly let y'all know. This is it, guys. This is the very last update for this particular trip. Unfortunately, it did not rain, so I'm unable to tell you how well it performed in the rain. But overall, I must say I really do like this tent. The space is great. I love the fact that it has the divider and the double doors. The skylights are really, really nice. But just to recap, I love the fact that the skylights are cool. You can see the stars at night. The only downside is that you do get some condensation from those skylights. The other con is that I didn't like the fact that there were no doors on the back side. But yeah, I think that's it for the recap. Takedown is extremely simple. All you have to do is press the button here and these poles collapse. I'm not going to film the whole thing because it's pretty simple, but you get the idea there. Once you press the buttons to release the poles, they bend inwards, and you simply pick it up and fold it in like such. I'm going to continue that all the way around. Once those arms were folded in towards the center hub, it just collapses in on itself. That's when you simply start to roll it. And of course, I'm going to roll it quite a bit more to get some of that air out of there, to get it more compact. And then it goes into the bag. So very, very simple process, guys.